They're going to have to be worried about that. All right, well, if it's a Gangplank locked in, we know 100% that's Impact.
Yep.
Most played champion, super, super comfortable on it. And that is going to give them some possibilities of top side, adding to bottom side plays.
This is also a very AD-heavy draft from the side of Team Liquid. There is, of course, AP threat still from the Gragas and the Lux, but when you're looking at those big damage sources, it's Ezreal, it's Yasuo, it's Gangplank. Armor's going to be pretty effective.
And I think that an AP jungler and an AP support in Lux is enough of diversifying your damage when there's no pure tank on the enemy team. I mean, G2 maybe get some sort of defense in their boots, but they're not going to be stacking a lot of defensive stats, so I think this is completely fine.
Yeah, even for a champion like Aurelia that you assume maybe can itemize a little bit efficiently there, her W no longer blocks magic damage too, so there's a lot of value going for those two picks here. But as we've mentioned, it is a very strong early game composition here from the side of G2 that I really have to be watching Xmithie. How can he stop Jankos from finding early game plays and sort of get this TL comp into the mid game, which is the time they would prefer to play.
Yeah, G2 is not playing the type of compositions we saw from them yesterday, gentlemen. We're not seeing those wacky left field type of picks coming out this time. This very much looks like a comp that was drafted to win and win hard early. If they can do it here, they're going to walk away securing the win at Rift Rivals for Europe, but Team Liquid will do everything in their power to stop it as we get onto the Rift.
I think everyone will be expecting some early attention around mid lane as well. So we'll keep track of the trinket wards from both junglers and mid laners as to the early paths that go around there. Yasuo and Gragas classic combination, but we're starting off with an early invade from Team Liquid on the bottom side. All 5 members are here.
And this gives room for Jankos to actually walk into the top side jungle because he saw so many members, and that's a peculiar strategy. Core JJ going for the early turret plate damage.
Okay, so let me check.
It's not just for damage, you get Spell Thief's money.
True.
I learned this on Double Lift's stream that he was encouraging Core JJ to go for it multiple times.
33 gold.
And this time around, since they 5-person invaded on bottom side, you legit get enough gold for your control ward. And we'll see if that vision game does snowball from there.
Yeah, because I think he also only started with the 1 potion as well, so he had that extra money. So I guess, you can't do that every game because eventually you play against someone who goes bot lane.
Please be careful doing this in solo queue. This is a public service announcement. Do not run it down.
That's why they 5-member invaded on bottom side. Every member of this team supporting Core JJ in his attempts to die to the turret.
Well, he made it successfully happen. Scoreboard says 0-0 at the top. No harm, no foul. Core JJ managed to get that ward, and you can see it placed in the pixel brush in the bottom side river there. So Team Liquid will have some extra control over this area. Make sure that if Jankos tries to cross that halfway point in the map, they'll have eyes on.
So interesting pathing here from Xmithie, starting on his wolf camp and getting up towards this top side of the map, maybe looking for an earlier gank window where he didn't expect G2 to know when he would be coming, but because of that deep ward Jankos did place in the top side, this will give Jankos time to clear out his own Krugs, path up towards the top side of his map on his own, and then potentially look for a counterplay.
And since he's got the control ward on the bottom half of the mid lane, we talked about mid lane vision really early on, now with Xmithie on top side, this will allow Jensen a lot more information here to know that the Rek'Sai is not going to come from this angle. Caps right now forcing him off the minion wave, though, trying to deny that CS.
Yeah, the ward also protects against any sort of vertical jungling here because Xmithie did not take his own blue buff at level 1, so it does protect him moving up towards this top side. We may just see him recall early on to go ahead and get his boots because he does have that Predator, and then maybe find a gank on the bottom side or the mid lane. But with the Scuttle Crab spawning relatively soon, we should see junglers contesting over that.
And as you mentioned the Predator on Xmithie, I also want to point out, because sometimes we do see some keystone differences from game to game. Jensen going with the fleet footwork on Yasuo this time around. Oftentimes these days you do see Conqueror on Yasuo for the extra damage, the extra ability to punch through defenses as the game goes on. Fleet footwork, the name of the game here, in order to have a better laning phase against Caps, keep his health popped off. Jankos also with the Hail of Blades on the Rek'Sai to get off those auto attacks very quickly early on, makes him an incredible duelist.
Clever thing from Xmithie at the start, he was standing still, wondering, is Jankos coming, so that he wouldn't reveal himself due to those tremors, but Jankos spent a little bit extra time firing away the blue buff. Bot lane.
Double Lift's going to be taken rather low here. Perk's also having some damage onto his health bar, but nobody's dropping over just yet.
Yeah, and Jankos, since he did go for the Krugs, Rek'Sai actually will take a lot of damage if you do that full clear on the bottom half of the map. He saw the ping from Xmithie with his passive on the top scuttle though, so he knows bottom scuttle is clear, and Jankos can head down there and finish up the bottom side scuttle so they don't get double scuttle situation, and it provides more vision for the Xayah Rakan to play that matchup offensively. You can see under the tower already, we're going for harassment.
Yeah, Jankos already saw Xmithie earlier, does have the level lead, but not itemization. Of course, Xmithie holding the red buff as well.
Xmithie getting a little bit of damage onto Jankos there, but considering Caps currently has the health lead, seems like he can rotate over faster just by the nature of being LeBlanc. Xmithie not wanting to bite off more than he can shoot there in that 1v1. Also a level down. He did go back to base, as you already mentioned, because he wanted to acquire the boots, make sure he had a keystone, considering you don't until you have that item. And that means he's just now making his way towards the mid lane here. 2v2 going to be breaking out. Jensen rooted up, in some trouble, knocked up into the air. Jankos looking to make this one happen, and first blood for G2.
Yep, Xmithie not going to be able to land that body slam. Also, no flash there to ensure it. So Team Liquid punished around mid lane in the 2v2, which we expected to be so pivotal here.
Exactly, and even though Xmithie did go back to base, he has an itemization lead, but it's not going to help him at all in the 2v2, just picking up the extra machete and the boot, so definitely going in favor there of G2, and they can look to extend more pressure because Jankos is level 5.
Yeah, level 5 to 3 is not any sort of a contest you want to deal with here. Xmithie hitting level 4 now, just needed that little bit of extra EXP from that chicken camp. Still down about 7 CS compared to his opponent, as Jankos has been ahead of the curve on farming here. Working his way up towards the top side, seeing if maybe they can make the dive happen onto Impact, but Xmithie has showed up. Yeah, he's just farming up some Krugs now, but G2 has to know if they try to do something. Jankos will have to deal with his opposing jungler being right there.
Yeah, I mean, he knows that Xmithie has no business messing with him. You know, he's got the level advantage. He is the Rek'Sai, and Xmithie already using stuff on the Krug. Here's another look at it, though. Xmithie goes in. You know, the only possibility there would have been if he flashed to try and get that body slam to interrupt and save Jensen. But once there was that full commitment, very easy for Jankos to step in.
Yeah, it was also that really nice sidestep there from Jankos to avoid the body slam, and then following up with the flash after that. Luckily for Jensen, he still has his own flash and the level lead in mid, so he still has pressure in this matchup.
Yeah, and even though G2 got themselves a first blood, it's still Team Liquid with a very slight gold lead, as Jensen's in some trouble here yet again, throws out the wind wall, having a flash away, but the flash will not do much. The damage comes through, and Caps picks up another one for his team.
Very easy for Rek'Sai to repeat gank. Again, the melee matchup into the LeBlanc. That's where we're thinking maybe they will have the Yasuo chase their Irelia around. Not the case here. And it is a big advantage for G2 now, because the minion wave you mentioned still in Caps' favor. He can just hold it here. Well, can't hold that big of a minion wave in front of your turret, but it is going to be a big minion wave experience swing, and it is going to go heavily in his favor.
Team Liquid still getting themselves a decent enough early game, though, by the nature of having Kleptomancy Ezreal along with the Gangplank. Their champions are making sure they have plenty of gold, but Impact has to be more worried about his health bar right now. Looking to turn this one back around with the ulti. A turret shot, too. Going to be making things go his way. One more parlay should take him down. There's the auto attack, and Impact has the solo kill. Mid lane's going to be another 2v2, this time going the other way. Jankos pop, and Xmithie tries to get himself out. Caps makes it a return kill, a 1-for-1 in the middle of the map. Jensen's not done, sliding forward, firing off the tornadoes, but he will not get the mark.
Oh, they're not done yet, too. Jensen trying to charge his shield back up by walking around. Does have another charge of the Q. Caps goes for it.
Caps looking to make this play happen, but Jensen going forward, and he'll run him through with the blade.
This time around, Xmithie does use the flash. They get onto Jankos first because they know there's no flash left on the Rek'Sai, and it is a complete turnaround in this game.
TL win all across the map, and it starts in the top lane with Wonder diving too far forward, tanking up some turret shots there. And at this point, Impact, he knows he has the flash. He can go forward and finish off this kill. But it was actually the mid lane where it got craziest, because they go double knock up there onto Jankos, who has to use his ultimate just to try and stay alive. That means none of that execute damage coming through from the Rek'Sai, and it's just Caps trying to trade back here, but he gets a little too over-ambitious going on Jensen.
Yeah, I mean, Caps has gotten the better of Jensen before. He thinks that he can outplay him here. Jensen sidesteps as Caps goes in here. He knows that the knockup has already been used, so he goes in for it, sidesteps behind that minion so the chain can't hit him, and then there are plenty of minions left for Jensen to follow that back up.
Yeah, Jensen also charged up full flow right there, so got that shield and made it for an easy duel.
Jensen getting 464 gold, as you also saw. Pretty nice payday for shutting down Caps there after his early success, thanks to his jungler's intervention. As topside, we'll see if Jankos can set something up here, help Wonder a little bit against Impact, as he now is a little bit behind, 10 CS down compared to his opponent. Also have to include the natural gold lead from being Gangplank in that one. Team Liquid currently with a very slight gold lead, hanging on pretty nicely against this early game composition from G2.
Yeah, big props to Impact on the top side of the map. He saved his orange for so long, baiting Wonder under the turret, and is able to get that outplay. That completely changes how this map is going to go. Smithy does get chased off the scuttle, though. Cap's going in.
A lot of damage coming out there. A nice cast goes through, and now Cap's in some trouble. Bound up and blasted down. There's your final spark, and Jankos will now find himself in the middle of 4 members of Team Liquid. No stun in the world from Wonder could stop that one, and TL gets 2.
TL are first to respond on the crime scene as Jankos and Caps both tried to go way too far. Huge rotation coming out of them to punish the overaggression.
Now CoreJJ just running after Mickey X, getting him out of the way too. Jensen's able to move up. He has the minion wave underneath the enemy turret to grab himself a plate. Takes a couple of shots for his trouble, but now Doublelift has to make sure he doesn't fall victim to the G2 power. That game plan here with the Lovers duo. It's Perks going up into the ultimate, trying to keep himself alive, sidestepping away from the binding. Flash still available there too. Team Liquid go for the play, but they will not find anything. Of course, they also don't lose Doublelift.
Yeah, exchange of ultimates there. Let's take another look at Caps going in. Now, once again, this is why North America prizes the Gragas-Yasuo combination so heavily. It's an insane mid-lane duo. They combine to get the root there for CoreJJ, very easily lands it for the follow-up on a Caps. Once Caps is down, then there's nowhere for Jankos to go, so they get 2 for 1.
Yeah, it was also super clutch there from CoreJJ matching the roam of Mickey's Rakan, because I don't think G2 actually knew he was in the area. They went in thinking they had a numbers advantage, but the Lux was right there.
Nice Infernal Drake pickup comes out for G2 there. Jankos seeing the opportunity to take that one with Team Liquid not being in the right spot on the map. We already mentioned earlier how G2 doesn't really have a true tank on this composition. But of course, when you don't have a tank, that means you have more damage, so that Infernal Drake will feel real nice for your Xayah, LeBlanc. Everybody pretty much except for Rakan will get some solid value out of that one. As Jensen pushes up the mid lane here. CS leads in both solo lanes for the side of Team Liquid. Xmithy's caught up in the jungle there. You can see the gold almost even between those two, couple hundred favoring Jankos, but nothing to really write home about. Bottom side, though, is not even my concern as Jensen goes on a killing spree. Xmithy is investing in this mid lane, and it is paying off.
Exactly. They know their win conditions. Very good execution once again of the double ultimate. And again, another turret plate for Jensen here. Jankos tries to pick up the scraps. Wonder's on the way too, and they force the flash.
Now G2 need to do something with this timer because Caps' flash is coming back up and he's been getting punished. 3 deaths in the last couple of minutes right here. They need to be able to turn the tides of this mid lane matchup because the way it is going currently, TL with Xmithy and Jensen can just have complete terror over the river, find these roams and find these kills.
After the initial 2v2 kill mid lane for G2, it's been Team Liquid outplaying in back-to-back plays there. Top side of the map has been Impact too, so that is a Rift Herald on him. Let's take another look at the replay. Round 2 here, Xmithy over the wall right into Caps as he went to put the ward. He knew that there was probably going to be a repeat visit, but a little bit too slow.
Could not dash out of that one in time. You saw him in the distortion animation, and now Wonder may be in trouble next. Impact laying down the barrels, putting the shots into him, finding the damage. One more is not quite enough. The corrupting potion won't do it, and Wonder stays alive.
Xmithy is knowing how to play the map so well right here, getting the Herald, going top lane after camping down in that middle side, and you see the respect from Doublelift and CoreJJ, clearing out the minion waves, knowing if they can blow those up, they can't be dove while the rest of their team is getting a lead top.
I mean, this is why they picked him Ezreal. You saw in Champ Select, everyone giving him the pat on the back. They're like, all right, you just have to play safe down there.
It's
play
time
some
to lose
Ezreal.
gracefully.
Because you know, when you pick Gragas-Yasuo, I guess we'll call it Grasuo now.
Okay.
We can go with that.
The Gragas will be
Why not?
playing on the mid top side of the map. It has been payment for G2 though. Perks and Mickey mine almost all of the turret plates off of the bottom half. That is their hope at the moment.
But of course, because it's Kleptomancy Ezreal, despite the fact that things look bad with the plates and with the 20 CS deficit, the gold is only 200 apart between these two AD carries at this point in time, just because of the nature of Ezreal. Makes Team Liquid not feel too bad about the state of things. A 3,000 gold lead 14 minutes into the game is really good.
Oh yeah, it looks fantastic for TL, and we said in the early game, or in draft, we said Xmithie must track Jankos, he must be able to shut him down. Well, Xmithie has done that absolutely fantastically so far, just owning the map entirely, and now for them, it is about transitioning that lead. Can you now put this Yasuo into a side lane where he can get even more pressure on towards towers, start to knock those down, and really start pushing your vision inside the G2 jungle?
Well, with his static shiv completed, he will have that much more wave clear, that much more burst potential when he goes in for these trays, these fights. Impact also not really afraid of Wonder here in the top side. Confident in where he's at in this game on the Gangplank. Trinity Force completed. Ninja Tabbies in inventory means it's pretty much gonna need to be Cap to put some significant damage onto him. But Caps is once again in some trouble here, having to flash away from Team Liquid trying to start off a fight. But TL now falling back, recognizing multiple members of G2 are also here. You can see the comparison on your screen coming up now. Plates went down 45 seconds ago. Team Liquid ended up getting the better of that trade with 2 more plates in pocket. It's about the equivalent of 1 extra champion kill compared to their opponents.
Yeah, that was a little bit off screen there, but Xmithie forced Caps to take his distortion back with that barrel, and that in the end does get the flash off of the LeBlanc, allowing Team Liquid to continue to invade. They steal away the blue here and retain control of the map. All the while, Double Lift on your screen, playing the Ezreal. This is why they have him on the safe AD carry, so he can hold the weak side of the map.
0-0-0. He's doing exactly what his team needs him
to be
doing right now.
The important thing isn't the zeros on the side of that score, my friends. It's the 0 in the middle. He's not dead. He's not a detriment to the team. All you've got to do is hold the line in the bottom lane, and Double Lift will do just that. Mid lane, it is a 1,400 gold lead for the Yasuo over the LeBlanc. We all know the 2 versions of LeBlanc that you see in your game. Your team's LeBlanc, which kind of is a caster minion. The enemy team's LeBlanc, which pops everybody in the blink of an eye. If LeBlanc falls too far behind the curve of the game, she quickly switches to that second kind, where it's like, I don't really know, so we'll see if Caps can find his way back into the game with a couple good picks. He does have the setup tools on his team, with Mickey X and Jankos being able to engage, but we'll see if they can find those angles, those avenues, those opportunities here as TL groups up in mid.
Yeah, I really like TL's move here coming off of the reset, because G2 split up and sent members to all 3 lanes, whereas TL didn't put anyone bottom lane. They brought 4 into mid, so they could get priority. That means they can then move down in towards this Cloud Drake and have control over this bottom side of the map. While this lane bot side is pushed up, it means Caps can't get any CS.
Double Lift will continue farming up against Perks and Mickey X here in the mid lane. Xmithie trying to hang around off to the side, but he's on top of the wall. But Caps again exploded by Jensen and Xmithie.
Those wards for Team Liquid pay off, and it's an instant flash from Xmithie. No response possible there from Caps. They blew the flash earlier, and that is a kill into an objective.
Caps keeps trying to go for these plays where he's on the flank or inside the TL jungle. He should know better than this. TL had just walked down into that river. There's got to be wards there.
I mean, this would be fine if you're an 8-0 LeBlanc. Your team's really far ahead. You're the one who's pressing forward, sitting in patches of darkness. But when your opponents are in control of the game overall, you got to be that much more careful about it. Impact now setting up for what could be a dive topside. We'll see if G2 want to execute on this.
Yeah, that control, I think, might stop the 4-member dive. Jankos is still up here, but Impact very, very accustomed to trying to outplay 2-person dives with the Gangplank especially. And the controller behind red buff means that the Rakan won't come up. That probably puts a stop to the play.
Jensen not afraid of Caps in this 1v1. Level 12 to level 10. You can see Jensen was not able to find any damage in that fight, but thanks to his shield, walked away practically taking none either. Fleet Footwork will also make sure he stays topped off once he gets exposed to the minion wave here yet again in a moment. Back in mid lane, still nothing too extreme going down here. Worth pointing out, Jensen also now has the Infinity Edge done on this Yasuo, so 100% crit means this guy is deadlier than ever.
Jensen is absolutely a beast right now, but for TL, their next main objective is to knock down this mid lane tower, which is difficult now because Perks is in mid lane, and with that, Xayah can clear away these minion waves relatively easily. But that's where I want to see them actually move down into this bot side jungle, where they already have very deep vision set up. If you can use this Gragas Yasuo to get a pick onto a priority member on G2, it opens up the tower, and then the map belongs to you.
And G2 are on the back foot right now. We need to talk about from their perspective. It's very difficult, but they have to get their defensive wards up. You see with this vision toggle right now, they are playing completely in the fog of war. No advanced warning as to where Team Liquid are going. So how do they keep track of the Gragas Yasuo?
You can't.
Well, Jensen's going to take Cap down to half HP instantly. Impact goes on a killing spree with a cross-map ultimate, still looking to help his team out. Jensen unstoppable, finally going to be shut down. Wonder makes his way into the fight. Stasis going to be keeping his Smithy alive, but here comes backup. Impact on a rampage as Perks finds his way into the middle of multiple members. Mickey X barely walking himself out as Double It fires off the True Shot barrage. Not going to find the mark on that one, but Team Liquid will take the fight.
Smithy is playing like he wants revenge here for MSI, absolutely beasting on G2 as TL take yet another kill and yet another tower.
Team Liquid grabbing that tier 2. They have yet to take down all of the tier 1s. They've already broken into the tier 2 line. Big pick up there, making sure they get more than just the fight. But let's take another look at it.
Yep, speak of the devil, we mentioned trying to keep track of him. Caps goes face first into the Yasuo, and then Xmithy allows Jensen a way out of that chain with the ultimate combination. That being said though, the reaction from G2 is good. Everyone commits to it, they teleport down, Wonder gets the answer kill, and then Perks here, ulting into the auto attack and flashing away immediately, does get some trade back kills. That being said though, Team Liquid still get the objectives on the end, and this game is an inspiring game for North American fans. Europe has been
Ooh, all right, Mickey X still gets himself away. Not gonna be caught out there just yet. Rakan so slippery when Zaya's nearby.
But it feels so good for NA fans too, because it's not Zed Yuumi bottom lane, it's not Evelyn in the jungle. This is full power G2, and
it's a real call.
are smacking them around in the first 20 minutes.
I mean, let's not forget, because everybody remembers the finals of MSI, which was a clean sweep for G2, but when the teams played each other in the group stage, they were 1-1. It's not like G2 is in a completely different battle from Team Liquid, and once again, G2 are gonna find themselves caught out here. Jensen and Smithy moving forward, trying to find a pick on the Yankos, as Cap tries to engage, and he is just not doing it.
All right, that's going to give complete control to Team Liquid in the mid lane. 5 versus 4, they're going to send Jensen to the top side and retain their pressure here. G2 also have Yankos farming the jungle, so they might have to give up this outer turret.
Team Liquid continuing to press forward. They know the enemy mid laner is down. They know they have control over this area. A nice binding coming out there from Core JJ. Gonna stop Wonder in his tracks as he moves forward. Impact will continue remaining on the front line, eating the oranges, topping off the health, and Jensen will continue this split push.
They've got 2 waves pushing in for Team Liquid by sending Jensen top. Secondary turret there, you could see almost about to fall down. That forces G2 to reallocate their resources. They're trying to get 2 turrets at once here for Team Liquid, and they might have to back off bottom and just get mid.
It's also so hard for G2 to defend side lane solo when you don't have control over your jungle, because a Gragas cast can come over that wall. Even if you're under your tower, you're in trouble.
And here could be a problem for Team Liquid. Jensen gets himself caught out. Finally, the hubris is punished. He's too far deep into enemy territory, and G2 pick it up.
That is a big pickup for G2. Taking the Yasuo off of the map allows them to push out some of these minion waves. And we're approaching a dragon spawn.
That blast cone was not good.
Yeah.
Blast cone right into the wreck side there. It's a little bit of a bounce house. Wanted to go over the wall, of course, and leave
You
the
think
jungle.
so?
But
Maybe.
not exactly the blast cone that he was looking for. That is the blast cone G2 we're looking for, because it allows Perks to push up the minion wave, as we said, and also get the objective.
Impact going up here 1v2 against Perks and Mickey X. And honestly, let's talk Perks here for a minute, because early on we talked in this game, win conditions for TL, Xmithy camping for Jensen, getting the Yasuo ahead. Perks is looking an awful lot like the win condition here for G2. With Cap so far behind, he's relegated to mostly uselessness for the time being. Wonder hasn't exactly found a smashing success in the top side either. Perks is the one who was able to find the 1 kill to salvage the bottom side fight. He's the one who's 30 CS ahead of his opponent, and this is the guy I'm looking at if he's going to come back and carry G2 through a fight.
Yeah, Perks absolutely must pop off, because right now between the 2 soul laners, the difference between Wonder and Caps to Impact and Jensen is almost 5k gold combined. It is not even close. So Perks is the only one that can carry. He needs to get to 3 items so he can do just that.
And right there on your screen, that play canceled because Perks moves in, he defends Wonder, goes to auto attack Xmithy down, dissuading him from flashing in for that kill. Regardless, it will be the Mountain Drake started up here for Team Liquid, and I expect them to finish it off. There's no possible response from G2 as everyone is spread out across the map.
Yeah, Jankos was on the other side of the jungle. He was backing to get back to the base. There's no real reason for G2 to try to fight this. It's just too risky at this point in the game. Team Liquid acquiring another objective here for themselves. 2 Drakes to 1. Critically, the 1 for G2 is still that Infernal Drake that will provide some extra damage scaling as we move forward, but 24 minutes into the game, gentlemen, Baron is becoming more and more of an issue here for both sides to be concerned with.
Exactly, and I think G2 dropped the ball a little bit there too, because they knew TL was going down towards the Dragon. That was their chance to get river control, to put some wards down around the Baron. They put 1 deep control ward inside the TL jungle, but apart from that, it's completely dark around this river. Now it makes it very simple for TL to play around this Baron, and because they have the Lux, she is so good at controlling the tight corridors to enter the river from blue side. She can just pick you off, snap you up, and then you get the Baron.
All right, next steps for Team Liquid. You try and move up your minion waves on the side lanes so that you can get that vision that you're talking about around Baron. Currently, G2 have established control in the river, so Team Liquid trying to move in and push them out.
Smithy moving forward yet again, looking for the opportunity to get that initial body slam or explosive cast. Either one sets up Jensen to go in with the last breath, which sets up Core JJ to go in with the binding, which sets up the rest of the team to immediately find their damage follow-up. The CC chain here from Liquid, we've seen it pop off plenty of times so far this game. Truly deadly and honestly pretty easy to start off with that Gragas.
Yeah, it becomes very easy, especially with this Gangplank coming in with that AoE slow from anywhere else on the map. He can be playing side lane and still slow you down, trap you up to set up for those very easy Gragas casts. And because it's Gragas Yasuo, it doesn't even have to be an ult that knocks you back in towards the TL team.
Right.
You can just drop that, Yasuo snap ults, and then they're locked in place.
Yeah. Right, it paralyzes you mid-knockback. But G2 now have to contest the fact that Team Liquid has moved into the top side of the river, maintaining control over this vision, trying to drive G2 away or at least make them force check this Baron. There's the ulti being forced out of Perks here immediately. Impact in some trouble. Rooted up, but man, they just eviscerate the bottom lane of G2. Impact goes unstoppable, and I think that smells like a Baron.
Yeah, Perks is too close to Team Liquid. He was the hope for G2, and now it is going to be Team Liquid wearing purple, heading down the mid lane. They are looking for some Nexus turrets.
5 men strong. Team Liquid are ready to make a play happen. They'll send Jensen into the side lane. He is not threatened in this 1v1 whatsoever by the presence of Caps. Caps immediately going into the brush to get back to base, does not want to deal with this fight. Team Liquid will now send everybody back, shop up, and get ready. Here's another look at the pick.
Yeah, Team Liquid not wasting any time here either. Impact had already grouped up with the rest of the team, and you notice it's double if 2 starts it off. Aggressive arcane shift forward to apply the slow on towards Perks, and then they just run him down. Beautiful binding coming through from Core as well to get that huge AoE damage and not give any time to react.
Yeah, Core JJ has been insane with the defensive bindings as well as that one right there. All that's needed from Double Lift is to land that slow. That allows Impact to take the charge and Core JJ landing the skill shot from off screen. Now, as we said, Team Liquid right back down the map. They're headed towards mid lane, buffing up the cannon minion, looking for the seeds, but G2 looking for the flank. Can they get Mickey's Recon into the back line?
Yeah, there's a flash up for Mickey, a flash up for Jankos. They want to catch them while there's only 3 members here.
There's so much to go. G2 coming in, looking to initiate this one. Mickey X in the middle of all the people going to be knocking Jensen up into the air as Xmithy goes into the stasis. Jensen's going to be taken down, and G2 have found the initiation they need. Xmithy will find the kill to Jankos, but Caps assassinates him right thereafter. It is 1 for 2, and G2 take the fight.
G2 with the perfect flank right there, picking up the 2 for 1. Still so hard to get anything off the back of it. They're just trying to delay the rest of this Baron buff.
That was such a huge fight for G2. If that tower goes down, they don't have a lot of extra options because there's not many more pockets of fog of war. When you're pinned inside your base, you don't get any of those options. Team Liquid, though, with Baron buff, can continue right through the front door.
Look at this, Perks is teleporting behind. They're looking for the 80 carry flank.
G2 wants to try to collapse on these remaining 3 members of Team Liquid, but TL has no fear. They say, you can't come at us from this angle if we run straight through your front gate. Inhibitor now destroyed. Team Liquid take the objective.
Team Liquid saw Perks going top lane and just pushing that wave, and they said, hey, wait a second. Even though we lost the fight, the strongest member on G2 is not anywhere close. They just run straight down the mid lane, get the freest inhibitor of their lives. I don't know what Perks was thinking.
All right, that is going to be full map control left to Team Liquid. Mid inhibitor down, Dragon spawning here, and still 50 seconds left on the Baron buff for those empowered recalls after they take it up.
The other important thing to notice here, that play was able to go so well for G2 because of the resources they can invest. When we look at flashes, they're just not there anymore for anybody except for Perks. Team Liquid still has them up and ready for Impact, Core JJ, and Double Lift. So G2 will have to respect that going forward in these engagements. Another Cloud Drake for the side of TL, more move speed, more control. Just a few seconds shy of the next Drake being the Elder, so we'll still see another Elemental before that big buff comes online. But TL still has 15 more seconds of Baron, and they will use it to push onto the tier 3.
Smithy's Predator, forcing Caps out of the side brush. They're trying to find more of those little pockets of Fog of War, but again, the map is not that big, and Team Liquid now warding the sides because they expect G2 to try and make another one of those initiations. Still, Double Lift is on the way, so it's 4 members, and this would be the small window for G2 to go after, but now Double Lift has arrived.
Look how far Jankos has gone for this wrap around. No flash on him, though, so he must back away. There's also a very good ward from Team Liquid in the mid lane to spot out his rotation. Now that TL can group bottom lane, there's only one side they can be flanked from, so it becomes impossible for G2.
And look at the control ward in the brush that Impact is in. It doesn't actually see the other ward, so Impact doesn't realize he's able to be seen. There was an issue with the control ward not being at the right angle to see the normal ward, and that is huge for letting G2 find a pick.
It's because there's an angle on that rock there. The ward can only see in straight line.
EU rock.
We'll take it in this one.
Using the terrain to their advantage.
Exactly. They placed it down in the right spot, and Team Liquid didn't see it, and it cost them pretty big here.
All right, here's another look at it. Smithy actually started in that spot. He trades places with Impact. He's going to be the one on the receiving end of that initiation. And once again, it's a Recon out of Fog of War. Boom. No reaction possible because Rek'Sai comes in for the knockup afterwards, so not going to be able to get out of that one, and that puts a stop to the push.
Yeah, it's so huge now for G2 as they try to wait out 2 more minutes before that inhibitor respawns. So there will be a 1-minute window where TL will still have permanent priority in that middle lane due to those super minions. That means still control for them in the river should be very, very good, and G2 must come up with another clever way to initiate a fight for them to have an advantage.
Baron in 45 seconds as well means Team Liquid doesn't have to go to G2 for the time being. They can force the issue in this neutral territory. We'll see if that's the play they want to go for here. As you can see, Core JJ using those Lucent Singularities to check the brushes, clear out the vision from G2, and make this entire top side of the jungle blind. It is so concerning to have to try to move through all of this unscouted territory to go towards that Baron pit.
And the biggest difference here is that Team Liquid have the teleport advantage. So they have full control with all these wards leading up to Baron. If they just send Impact down to the bottom side of the map on Gangplank, he's so safe. He has Flash. He also has the ultimate and teleport to try and affect a cross-map Baron play, and they can play both sides.
Team Liquid still controlling the area. 3 seconds left to go until Baron spawns. You can see pings coming out from TL towards the pit. Honestly, with the strength of Jensen at this point, it's pretty easy to 2-man it between Jensen and Xmithie as long as you just have somebody to tank the damage debuff for Jensen. We'll see if they decide to go with that or with the full 5-man all-in as everybody from Team Liquid is walking over, and considering there's no wards being picked off by those sweepers, they're saying, let's get it started.
Yeah, all Core JJ has to do is get ready to throw down a binding if Jankos was to approach, but G2 recognize there's no way for them to get into this pit. Yeah. Now it is TL's turn. Once again, they have 3 minutes and 20 seconds to try and destroy the base.
All right, G2. They've got the Guardian Angel now on Jankos. This is going to be the last-ditch effort inside their own base. Can they make the surprise play once again? Jankos looking for the flash. Mickey also has flash on Rakan. They need to layer those CCs well on the back line.
Guardian Angel ready to go for Jensen. No such thing available for anyone but Jankos on the side of G2, but the Rek'Sai just will not have the same impact in these fights as a Fed Yasuo will. stopwatch ready for Caps if he dives into the middle of these fights. But all too often so far, he's just been killed in a CC chain immediately. We'll see if G2 can hold here. Team Liquid is pushing up.
Now the mid lane inhibitor has respawned, so there's another pressure point for Team Liquid to attack. This makes it much more difficult to defend away from this, especially if TL can bring 2 minion waves into mid and top simultaneously.
Ooh, a lot of damage there onto Smithy. Perkz getting some good damage on that health bar in with the auto attacks. Just able to find a knockup. Perkz in some trouble, gets him the ultimate there in time. Gonna be taken very, very low. And true shot barrage. American sniper double it finds his man, and Jankos will follow. Guardian Angel will bring him back to life, only to die a second death. Mickey runs off the side. G2 goes into the stasis. Now they're gonna be cut down even further. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Liquid will not be brought down today. The tornado cuts one to pieces, and TL is on to the Nexus turrets.
Team Liquid with back-to-back victories over G2. They will not go down without a fight, and this relay race will continue.
We have ourselves a series. Team Liquid wins game 3.
Yasuo Gragas is the name of this game. First attempt at mid does not work out, but they do not use the flash in that effort, and then they return and continue to use that combination effectively. Caps got caught over and over and over again in those Gragas barrels, allowing those combinations.
Yeah, it was Smithy completely out jungling Jankos in this game, not giving up, and then using the pressure he generated through mid lane to then go top lane. Meanwhile, you know, you have Impact who's just solo killing Wonder carefully on the
bait him under the
too.
turret, no problem.
Yeah, everything just seemed to fall into place in this game for Team Liquid.
And the parts of their team that they left to fend for themselves, Doublelift and Core JJ in that bottom lane. 1-1-7 on the Ezreal, 1-1-10 on the Lux final scores. Exactly the kind of score lines you want to see out of your weak side of the map that you left to fend for themselves. Good stuff from Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in the player camp.